Welcome to Google Classroom. This is a new and different way of working for many of us. Hopefully, this guide will support you in using Google Classroom and enable you to make the most of your online learning. Now, in order to use Google Classroom, we need to know how to find it. And there are two ways. The first way is to pause this video and write out the link in point number 1 into your web browser. The second way is to log into your Google account using your school details. That will be the name that you use to log on to the school computer, followed by the end of our email address, which is @broomfield.enfield.sch.uk. The screen should look like this. Once you've input your email address, press the blue Next button, and the screen will prompt you for your password. Once you've entered your password, press Next. This will be your classroom homepage. And what you should see are all your lessons that the teachers are teaching you, but you'll be able to access them online. Let's have a look at these in a little bit more detail. So each box looks like this. In order to access into the classroom, you must make sure you join it. So at the bottom of the box there are two words, decline and join. You must press the join button. Once you've done this, you are part of the classroom, and you can access all the classwork and see all the work and information that the teachers has shared with you. There is a lot of information on these boxes, so let's just run through what each of that information means. The first line on this box where it says geography, that's the subject, and the strange name next to it, that's the class code. The information underneath the subject are the names of your teachers, and the information in the white box, that is telling you whether you have work due in or when the work is due in. So it's really important to keep an eye on that because you don't want to miss your deadlines. Now when you enter into the lesson or into the classroom, it will look like this. There are 3 tabs at the top, Stream, Classwork and People. The ones that I want you to worry about or think about are Stream and Classwork. So within this page on the left hand side you can see I've done a blue arrow. This is upcoming. This will show you if you have any deadlines that are due very soon. Currently on this page you can see that no work is due. The rest of the information that you can see is the stream. And the stream is where the teacher will post messages and the assignments. And that's what you can see below. It's important to keep an eye on the stream because this is where the teacher may post help or will post the lessons that you need to access. If you press the Classwork tab, which I've highlighted by the blue arrow, it will list week by week the work that has been set for you, along with the deadlines. So you will know at the week beginning what work is due in. And you can also see on the right, it will show you the deadline of when that work is due in. Now when you access a particular folder to access the work, this is then what you will see. There will be a box, and in that box you'll have 3 key pieces of information. They are the attachment, and this will often be the content of the lesson. There are instructions, and it's important to read these instructions because they will tell you what is due or what you need to do in the lesson. And then the final key thing is the date due. And it's really important, again, to keep an eye on that because we don't want you to miss it. We don't want you to be late. So there is one more piece of information that you will see when you log on to this page, and that is this box highlighted in red, and arguably one of the most important pieces because this is where you hand your work in. And if you don't do this correctly, the teacher cannot mark your work. So how do we use this? Let's think about it. There are several ways in which work can be handed in. In order to access any of these ways, you must press the Add or Create button, and that is in pale orange. When you click on that button, there will be a menu, and you can see it there. We've got Google Drive, Link, File, and then Docs, Slides, Sheets, and Drawings. These are various ways that you can hand work in. I'm going to go very quickly through 2 with you. The first way is if you want to add a file. Now what you can see here, I've clicked on the Add or Create button, and my mouse has highlighted the file, and that's why the file is currently in grey. Now it's highlighted by the red box. Once you've clicked on File, your computer should open your file where your work is stored. And amongst all your folders, all your pieces of work, you need to select the piece of work that you want to hand in. So in the screen that you can see here, I want to hand in the summer holiday homework. Once I've selected that, it will appear on that hand-in box. Now, as long as I can see a piece of work above the Add or Create button, I know that something is going to be handed in. If there is no work there and you press the button Turn In, which is in orange, then nothing will be submitted with your work and your teacher will send it back to you so you can re-add the work. So it's very, very important when adding a file that make sure you can see it before you press the Turn In button. Once you've pressed the Turn In button, the teacher has access to your work and they will know it's complete and will mark it for you. There's another way that you can hand work in, and that's about creating work. So again, you press the Add or Create button, which is in pale orange, and then just for this piece of work in particular, I've selected the Docs button. But I'm able to create documents, I can create PowerPoints, I can do Excel documents, and I can make drawings. But for this example, as you can see, I've highlighted documents. And when I click on that, it will open a Google format Word document, which I can just type my work and I can start it immediately. Now, the benefit of doing this is that the work will automatically save in your Google Drive. So if your computer battery runs out, if something goes wrong, the work is automatically saved. You cannot lose it. So this is a real great way of doing your work. Now, once I've completed my work, it will appear, again, as you can see, under the Your Work, above the Add or Create. As long as my work is there, I am good to press the Turn In button. Once I've pressed the Turn In button, another box will come just to confirm that you do want to hand in those documents. If that button comes up and it says that no documents were attached or that you haven't done the correct document, you can press Cancel and then you can add the documents again. But if you're happy that everything is there, press Turn In. The Turn In button and the Add or Create button will disappear. And what you will then see is Unsubmit. This is important. If you think you've handed in the wrong document, you can unsubmit the work and then put the correct document there. There is also a private comments box. This is really important if you're struggling with the work or if you have questions. You can write to your teacher and they can write back to you and you can engage in a conversation about the work. So just because you may not be in the classroom with the teacher does not mean that you can't communicate with them. So it's a really good idea if you are struggling to use that to speak to your teacher. Now, one of the many things that students may struggle with is keeping an eye on the dates when your work is due in. So a really good way of doing it is pressing the menu button on the top left-hand side and clicking Calendar. When you click on the Calendar button, it will open up the week view. And on this page here that you can see, from Monday to Friday, this student has about 4 pieces of work due in every day. And these pieces of work mirror the lessons that they would have in the classroom. So you're not getting more work than you would have if you were in school. You're getting exactly the same amount. You can click on these buttons and it will take you to the work. So it's a really good idea to keep an eye on this calendar just to make sure you know you're on top of everything. And another way to make sure you're on top of everything is to press this To Do button. Again, you access it through the button on the top left-hand side of your screen. And this will list all outstanding work which needs completion. So you can see on this person's list, there are several pieces of work that weren't done in May. So all these pieces of work are missing. So this student could click on them and access them very easily. The Done button, which I've highlighted in green, this will show you what work you've completed. And it's really nice to look at this at the end of the week and you can see just what you have achieved. Hopefully, you don't find using Google Classroom too difficult, but if you do, you can always come back to this video and have a look through, and hopefully it will make using it that little bit easier for you. And of course, if you have any questions, please speak with your achievement directors and they will do their absolute best to help you. And if they don't know the answer, they will find it out for you and they will get back to you as soon as they possibly can. I hope you found this helpful. Take care.